All right, let's jump right into this. We're going to explore a really cool idea today. What if the secret to living a richer, fuller life isn't about perfecting the one you already have, but about starting a second one? I mean, really think about that for a second. Imagine having a parallel life where you could try anything, be anyone without a single real-world consequence. What would you do? Who would you become? It sounds like something out of a movie, but it's actually closer to reality than you might think. So what do we actually mean by a second life? Look, we're not talking about being a secret agent or anything like that. We're talking about a digital second life, a space, maybe in virtual reality or an online community, where you can create a whole new digital identity and just live differently. It's a concept that's taking on a whole new meaning in our crazy connected world. And this brings us to what we could call the two-life opportunity. Because while the idea of having multiple lives has been around forever, it's our technology right now that gives us the power to really do something with it. I mean, let's be real. Modern life feels like you're being pulled in 1,000 different directions at once, doesn't it? It is so hard to stick to just one path, one career, one hobby. And that feeling of constant distraction is exactly why the idea of an escape, a place to try something new without blowing up your entire life, is so appealing. And this right here is where the magic really happens. A second digital life gives you the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card, total freedom, with zero risk. Just look at the difference here. In your primary life, everything has high stakes, right? You've got your career path, bills to pay, real-world pressure. It's serious business. But in your second life, absolutely no stakes. You can explore whatever you want. It's total freedom. You want to be a painter one day and a space explorer the next? Hey, why not? And when you have that kind of freedom, you start making some pretty wild discoveries about yourself. You can unlock parts of your personality you never knew were there, or you might find totally new ways to be productive that you can bring back to your real life. You even get to explore a wider range of emotions, like that weird, profound feeling of being both happy and sad at the same time. Now, all of this freedom is especially powerful when it comes to one thing in particular, and that's unlocking your own creativity. This quote from the source material just says it all, doesn't it? Think about that passion you've always wanted to pursue, but you couldn't because of money or time or just being afraid you might not be good enough. In a second life, all of that just goes away. You can just show up and be that person. And the cost of entry, the financial barrier to chasing that dream, it's a big fat zero. Zilch. You don't need expensive gear or years of lessons. You just start. So let's look at this case study from our source. It's about a programmer who secretly always wanted to be a singer and a musician. Now, in the real world, that's a massive risk, right? We're talking a huge career change, tons of money for lessons. But in his second life, he's a music producer. The cost is nothing, the risk is gone, and his creative freedom is absolute. He gets to express that side of himself completely with none of the real-world baggage. Okay, so this all sounds pretty incredible. But there's a deeper layer to this, a kind of paradox, and honestly, it's the most important takeaway of this whole explainer. This is the big question, right? If you're spending all this time in some amazing, freeing virtual world, doesn't that make your real life seem kind of boring, less valuable? You'd think so. But what the source material found is that the answer is no. It's the exact opposite. And here it is. This is the crucial point. Having this virtual life doesn't take away from your real one. It actually makes you appreciate it more. And you can hear the emphasis in that quote. It really, really, really reminds you how precious real life is. So here's how that paradoxical loop works. First, you go explore in this virtual world. That exploration gives you a brand new perspective, a different way of seeing things. And then that new perspective makes you appreciate your actual physical real life so much more. It's this amazing positive feedback cycle. And we're not just talking about some abstract philosophical appreciation here. It becomes real, tangible. You start to cherish the little moments. The source even talks about how being in a world where you can't physically taste anything makes you come back and appreciate something as simple as the flavor of your food. It's incredible. So we'll end with this question for you. If you could have a second life, a place with zero risk and total freedom, what would you do? Who would you be? And maybe more importantly, what would you learn about your first self? That's definitely something we're thinking about.